All right, interweb land, I'm back. Another Rosco Odyssey walk and talk. So I got something a little bit different lined out today. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about my sobriety story. It's kind of a topic that came up recently, and I thought, you know what, I got some that I can share about that might kind of lend itself to being helpful. So I'm taking this little road trip here, kind of give a little background information. This is one of the little local shopping center. It's a lot different now. There was different businesses in here, but let's turn up in here. So all right, so this joint right here, it's different now. It used to be a local watering hole, a beer garden type place. It's called the Englander. Pretty popular, good spot, you know. Basically, real popular too. I said that already, but yeah. Pretty much had just about, when I drank, I mean, they had TVs, so football, sporting events, they were always pretty packed, and just about any beer that was out there was on tap. So they had over like 100 and something beers on tap, which is kind of unique, you know. But a lot more people go that route now, where they got these beer gardens and whatnot on tap. And I'm not advocating for drinking here. This is a sobriety story. So I'm running the path. I'm basically traveling the path that kind of led me to making a decision to kind of say, you know what, enough is enough. And as much as I want to think I did it cold turkey, you know, for like full honest, you know, truth and disclosure, I didn't do it cold turkey, but I made the decision cold turkey. Like, after this, I'm like, that's it. I gotta stop this schnitzel, because I just didn't like the way it was going, you know. And it became a journey. It became a process. And around the same time, I started to receive. That's when I really started to kind of get into the Bible. And I did that because I was like, look, I'm not gonna wait for something to happen where it's drastic to where now I'm on my hands and knees praying, you know. I'd already made enough errors in life to it's like, you know what, I'm still here. I've got wife and kids. I got responsibilities. I'm not gonna piss this off. And I wanted to do other things in life, so I'm like, I didn't know where to go to get like honest or sound instruction. So I turned to the Word, and that's what kind of helped me start to kind of see things with a little bit different view, you know. And it's not easy. I'll put it that way. It's just not easy, because when I first started doing that, it was like, whoa, it says this, it says what? Oh my goodness. I was like, man, I'm in some hot. But you know, you work through those things, you know. You don't just, it's not just an individual thing. It's not just, for me, it wasn't just an individual thing, you know. I was reading, studying, but I was also listening to others, teachings and teachers, and let me just say, some are better than others, you know. But you won't know until you go through it, type of thing. So I just kind of stayed on course and kept trying to learn from a variety of sources. from a variety of perspectives. I'm gonna try to get over. No, this is not the intersection. Wrong intersection. This is there's an intersection that I gonna pull off to, because that was the intersection that really changed the whole deal for me, you know. So I showed you the spot where, you know, so basically I'll just get into the story now. It was a Sunday night football game. It was Raiders and Broncos back in the day. You know, so I was there at the spot drinking with the guys I hung around from work and stuff, and we were just boozing it up that night, you know. You know, hitting shots, drinking beer, just getting plastered. And I was on my motorcycle at the time. I was on the 2 wheels of steel. Oh, that's fun. There's nothing like riding a bike, folks. Motorcycle, that is. You know, that's you know, best do it while you're sober, though. Okay, don't get this twisted. Like I said, this isn't a drink it up advocacy. This is a cautionary tale of sorts. So, you know, we're just drinking it up, partying, getting wasted, and game's over. I don't even remember who won it, you know, to be honest. And one of the guys was like, "Hey, come on over, man. We'll keep the party rolling." So I was like, "Yeah, I'll be over there." Knowing damn well I shouldn't have been on anything, but I shouldn't have gotten in any vehicle or on any vehicle at all. But I did. And this is the intersection right here that really, man, talk about scared. I just gotta say it straight. Just scared shitless. Yeah. So this is pretty big intersection. It's early right now. And at the time, so the time of the incident, what I'm talking about, it was it was a Sunday night, so it was pretty mellow after Sunday night football. So thankfully, it was pretty mellow. All right, so I'm gonna get into the intersection. I'll continue the story. All right, interweb land, I'm back. So yeah, this is pretty much the intersection right here where it kind of changed up for me. This is normally a pretty busy intersection. Right now, like I say, it's early, but so this was took place it was a Sunday night, and just to get to it, basically, I was lit, you know, beer, tequila, hopped on my bike, went to the after party sort of thing, and it was just me and like a couple guys from work hooked up at one of the guys' place, and we just kind of continued with carrying on, but I was in no shape to carry on at that point. So anyways, intersection, just keep that in mind. I'll continue the story. All right, interweb land, I'm back. Okay, so we get back to a little familiar spot here, and like I said, I got something a little different lined out. I'm using a little bit different equipment, but nonetheless, we'll get back to the story here. Okay, so I gave you a little background about the whole drinking binge night. It was a Sunday night, catching a football game at a local watering hole. The guys from work, totally blitzed, hammered, drunk. One of the guys says, "Hey, come on over my place. We'll keep partying, keep drinking, smoke some cigars, whatever." So I'm like, "Yeah, sounds good. I'm in. Count me in. Count Rosco in." All right. So hopped on my motorcycle, and I showed you the path I took. I was on my bike. Left the bar, hopped on my bike, left the bar, jammed down the roadway there, and got to that intersection that I showed you. So the details are fuzzy, but I'm gonna try and give you a picture of what I remember. What I remember about that intersection was simply red light, white lights, a cold, chill, hair raising on the back of my neck, and just being over, like, just feeling ice cold and sweaty. And looking back at the intersection was behind me, but I was stopped. And I was like, what the? All I know is once I was able to gather myself, I made it to my friend's place. I got to the door. He's like, dude, you don't look too good. I said, man, I don't feel too good. And I made it to the bathroom, passed out. Excuse me. Threw up, passed out, and then woke up sometime in the morning, early morning, I don't know, 4 or 5 in the morning, hopped on my motorcycle and made it back home. Oh, this is supposed to be steady, but whoops. If it was bouncing around, sorry about that. So that was the single event that started to tell me, like, I need to switch things up. Because that next day, I just remember looking at my wife, seeing my kids, and thinking, man, what the am I doing? You know? And that started the journey to sobriety. And it's been a, you know, it's had its ups and downs. But you know, I can say with certainty I'm sober. You know, even this last Thanksgiving, I think I always make my turkey birds with the beer. I use that to almost like a beer can chicken, but with the turkey. So I did have a beer on Thanksgiving, and I was like, you know what? It's been such a long time. I usually have a whiskey, but I didn't even do that. I said, wow, it's been such a long time since I had a beer. Excuse me. And I did that. And I was like, yeah, I'm not missing anything here. But at least I know I could do that and not just go all ballistic and just get hammered and stuff. But outside of that, I just assume really not even go there. And there was some other things that I started to experience around that time. You know, I wanted to do business. I wanted to do better for my family. You know, I mean, I was working steady. Everything was going along, moseying along. No, you know, excuse me. But yeah, I thought about having my own business. I thought, you know, this whole drinking thing, I didn't want it to end in a catastrophe, because I'm gonna be straight, man. It's one thing to drink, but it's another thing to just get shit-faced hammered and then hop on a bike, hop on a motorcycle and go wheeling along. Nah, that's a recipe for disaster. And I just felt when I had a chance to really look at the whole picture, I just felt like, yeah, don't piss this off, man, you know? And that's when I really started to take a hard look at myself and be like, you know, if you want to strive for more in life, you're going to have to give up certain things, you know. And I didn't know how to find that. So I made the decision cold turkey, but like I said, it didn't just stop right there, you know. Excuse me. it took time. Took time in reading the word. It took time getting down on my knees and praying. You hear the term repenting. I would say so. I'd say so for sure. For sure. You know. So I was able to replace the drinking with putting in you know, putting God in there, getting some sort of grounding, getting some sort of different view, different you know. And with that, it's not the easiest thing, because when you decide you're not going to do something like drink or whatnot, you come up against the fact that some folks just don't want to hang out no more. You know, and that's just a fact. And I was okay with that. I was okay with the fact that it might be a solo journey. Okay, I just had to be okay with that, for me personally. All right. And I'm just sharing my story, man. You know, I'm not, like I said, I don't have manipulations and machinations. I'm just sharing to you out there who want to listen to this, a life story, you know. I believe I'm being pretty accurate as far as dates and times, but I know it's not exact. Okay, but I can give you the more or less, this is how it went down type of thing. And there were some other decisions I had to make, things that I recognized I need to just step away from to develop, just for personal development type of deal. Okay. And yeah, that's the story. That's the event. I mean, there's nothing like riding a motorcycle. Honestly, I love that. That's being on two wheels and hitting the throttle and just rolling. Man, it just feels free. It just, you know, you feel the wind, the air, the sound of the rumble of the engine. It's almost like you get in tune with the machine and you're just rolling on the, you know, on the roadways, man. And you really, for that kind of interaction, I think you have to be sober, because I got in some situations where I was sober and was like, what? How did I get through that? So you have to be alert. You got to be alert, man. You want to be engaged. That's why I'm not into the whole just sit in the back of your car and let it drive itself. Nah. But I mean, you know, I'm not saying good or bad on that. I'm just saying, I personally, that's not my thing, you know. So that was a very sobering situation, and like I said, I don't feel I missed anything. And to have a good time, I know for a fact. I mean, for me personally, I don't have to drink to have fun. I just being around folks and just having a laugh, sharing a smile, sharing a story, having a conversation. You know, little music, whatever. It's good. It's good. It's good for me. Works for me. And the only good thing I will say is I was never, anytime I was kind of over the top with drink and stuff like that, I never got to that. I never became that violent guy. You know? I was more that. If I'm smiling now, it's like it was like smiling times 10, and just kind of happy-go-lucky, dance around, party, that sort of thing. But But that's the other part is alcohol poisoning. That ain't fun, man. That ain't good. That can't in any kind of way be healthy. You know. So that happened. That took place somewhere around the late 2000s, mid 2000s. So since then, it's just been a steady process. It's like a steady process of elimination. And, you know, I like I said, I watch a lot of different content for I guess for things that I kind of relate to, you know. And I heard some advice or guidance that was put out, and I thought it was more than reasonable, very fair, and it was having to do with, you know, if you're gonna give something like that up, if you really want to make that turn, or that you really want to make that decision and go that route, what is it replaced with, you know? That was kind of how the information was presented, and I thought, wow, that gave me a little inclination to really kind of look back and kind of unfold it, you know, kind of, because I always felt like, just cold turkey, I'm not doing it, that's it, and that's it. It just stopped, and I think that's the beginning. That's the beginning of saying, okay, we're gonna stop this, you know, and then you got to put in the work after that, you know. And for me, that came through with reading the Bible, but that also came through with once I did that opened up a whole lot of different information that I never really had up until that point in my life, you know. And I think it has served me well. I just say it like that personally. And again, I'm a baptized Catholic, so I don't, you know, hey, I'm being straight with you. So that's the story, folks. I'm probably do something else today. I don't know if I'll put it up today, but I'm gonna do another topic on some similar information I received, and I thought it was really interesting. It was has to do with what I'm going to do in a little bit here. It came out that, you know, a lot of times, like I said, I listen to a variety of sources and voices out here. Yeah, you know, I wade through it, and the information I got it came out as to me as it was presented to say, you know, if you're following, if there's someone out there that you view or you follow along with, because me personally, I've never been big on just following like one particular, and I don't know if this is good or bad. I'm just saying, I just have a tendency to like not want to just have one train of thought for us, you know, and that's it. Like, that's it. That's just how it goes. I would like to think I'm a little bit more open-minded, but still guarded, because I think there are some things that I know for me personally, there's just some things I'm drawing the line in the sand. I'm like, nah, you know. So I received the information this way, and it came out, and it says, you know, if the presenter is giving information, it might be received and thought of as like that's the way it goes. But the presenter was like, don't just take it that way because you watch me or because you like what I have to say, you know. It was more along the lines of like, if you think it resonates with you, or if you think you agree with it, test it for yourself, you know. Don't just take it as word. And I thought that was more than fair, because I feel similar to that, in the sense that whatever I'm saying here, I'm just sharing. Like I said, I don't have the manipulations and machinations for you. I just don't want it to be that. I'm just sharing, in this situation, my life story the best I can. And then, and if you receive it, still question it. That's fine with me. But like I said, I don't have that manipulation or machination on it. I'm sharing it. And like I said too, I'm thankful to receive that sort of message, that because I do listen to a lot of sources, and I think, it does make sense to me, but at the same time, I know, like, I gotta test this out, or I gotta do the research for myself personally. And or not, I just hear it, and it goes in and it goes out. It goes in and it goes out, and I say, okay, fair enough. Because so that's it. That's how my sobriety started. That's the start. Now it's basically putting it in motion to keep it that way, And it's with other things too. And those are other things, and I'll just leave it at that. Maybe I'll share those at some point when it's right, But I thought this was right for me to share this and put this out. So the next topic I'm going to present is basically my approach to holidays and versus holy days, and how I think that they are in fact something different than. And while they might have a basic framework or reasons why they are what they are, but I do think that they are a bit different or separate from each other. And again, I'd go to the verse, and you can, and I don't want to just pick verses because, again, it's certainly a individual journey. So I don't want to just pick verses and throw it out there, but I'm just sharing how I kind of associate on a kind of bigger, like a macro view of, render to Caesar what's Caesar's, and render to God what's God, what's that of God. And that's not even an exact paraphrase or word for word or anything. That's just my concept of it, and that obviously comes from the Bible. Okay, folks, thanks for listening. I'm on to the next one. Rosco Odyssey walk and talk.